It's the difference with BTC's fixed services. Whether you're working from home or enjoying family time, BTC ensures you're always in touch with the people and moments that count. BTC isn't just a service, it's a lifestyle. Stay connected, stay inspired, and live your best life. BTC.
Tourism today. Bahamas tourism today. Experience the magic of paradise in Acklins and Cricket Island. These islands remain almost as natural today as they were hundreds of years ago. Splash and cruise through the shallows to explore this one-stop haven for boating, bone fishing, snorkeling, and diving. Or better yet, explore Thompson's Blue Hole. Or learn about the rich history of our ancestors at Portland's Plantation. From the sea to your plate, Acklins and Cricket Island offers an array of authentic Bahamian delicacies fit for a king. And what better way to end your day than with nature's healing gift of freshly brewed bush medicine? Looking for an authentic island getaway? Visit Acklins and Cricket Island today. For more tourism updates, visit Tourism Today or Bahamas.com. I'm Joshua Robbins, and this is Tourism Today.
It starts its conference here in the capital. Details straight ahead.
Plus 47 Commonwealth Bank managers graduating from leadership training.
It's Junkanoo time at the Palmdale Primary School. Stay close.
And coming up in sports, over 100 golfers tee off at the Bahamas Golf Classic.
The Bahamas Tonight Access Now starts now.
Well, we're back in the swing of things. Good evening, I'm Desmond Saunders.
And I'm LaDawn Davis. Welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Well, just 1 week, the 47th President of the United States will be sworn in, and all of MAGA Nation will be happy.
Are you going to be happy, Desmond? Just a little bit? Somewhat? All right. I will be tuned in, taking it all of Washington sites.
And we have a team, LaDawn, over there catching it all, and, well, you'll stay tuned for more details of that. Right now, we dive straight into the news. The Bahamas Turks and Caicos Islands Conference of the Methodist Church held its 213th annual session on Sunday, bringing together clergy and congregants to reflect on the mission and work of the church. Diane Dorset has more.
The 213th annual session of the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos Islands Methodist Conference was a momentous occasion for the Methodist community. With worship, prayer, and fellowship at the heart of the session, attendees reflected on the church's mission and future. Conference President Bishop Theophilus Rolle delivered a message referencing the final words of John Wesley, the founder of Methodism, and the theme of this year's session, the best of all, God is with us.
Lifting up his arms in token of victory, of raising his feeble voice with a holy triumph not to be expressed again. Repeated the hard, reviving words, the best of all, God is with us.
Bishop Rolle went on to emphasize that these words serve as a call to remain steadfast in faith and mission, particularly in a world that often feels uncertain. Speaking on behalf of the Prime Minister, Minister Jomo Campbell reflected on the impact of the Methodist Church and its continued role in uplifting communities.
The Methodist Church has become synonymous with excellence, and this conference is no exception. Just as the Methodist Church continues to stand as a beacon of faith and hope within our communities, I encourage all of our citizens to embrace the same spirit of patriotism and unity.
The conference also served as a moment of unity, with delegates reaffirming their commitment to the church's mission. From outreach programs to spiritual development, the Methodist Church continues to address both spiritual and social needs across the Bahamas and the Turks and Caicos Islands. Bishop Roll concluded his message with a challenge for members to live out their faith boldly, inspired by the enduring words of John Wesley.
If we learned anything from John Wesley's final words, the best of all, God is with us. He's saying to us that in the paradoxical experiences of life, when everything seemingly is coming to an end, God is at God's best.
The 213th annual session was not only a time of reflection, but also a call to action for Methodists across the region. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Diane Dorset.
Thanks a lot, Diane. The first Bahamian bank to surpass $1 billion in assets, Commonwealth Bank, starting the year strong, transforming leaders across the company through its professional development program. Lloyd Allen has more from the program's culmination, which took place at the Atlantis Resort.
A night to celebrate for 47 managers of Commonwealth Bank, who this past week officially became the second cohort of the bank's annual Leadership Development Program.
For this year's program, our theme was Forging the Future through Visionary Leadership.
HR Vice President Claudia Roll says the program is designed to strengthen internal talent, evolving with the bank's overall transformation.
Everything we do is about our customer, and having leadership in place allows our employees to have the opportunity to have someone to support them to deliver great customer service to our clients.
Spending more than 3 decades at Commonwealth, Prince Charles Assistant Manager Monique Forbes said she feels more empowered to lead.
The ability to interact with a cross-section of our leaders in the company. We don't always get that opportunity because we are in different branches. So that was very, very good for me.
IT Senior Manager Richard Sand says he simply wants to continue to develop professionally.
I've been with the bank maybe over 8 years. This position is beneficial for me because it helped me foster greater communication with my team members.
Bank President Denise Turnquist says it's programs such as this which help in building team and community.
The progress we've made since our last gathering is remarkable. And yet, our journey of growth continues. In today's rapidly digitalizing financial landscape, agility isn't optional. It's imperative.
Now, as those 47 graduates contributed to creating this mural right here behind me, the bank officials are hoping for leadership to remain an important component of its brand now and well into the future. Reporting from the Atlantis Resort for the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Lloyd Allen.
Well, hats off to all the graduates. The Ministry of Education's plan to integrate Junkanoo within the public school system picking up steam, and it's already garnering positive feedback from young Junkanooers at the Palmdale Primary School. For 6th grader April Knowles, the exposure to the art and science of Junkanoo is nothing short of extraordinary.
I feel happy. I want to learn something new.
Yeah, I do like Junkanoo. I feel good about that, so we can learn some new stuff about Junkanoons. I would probably want to dance or sing.
Well, school principal Dr. Clinton Josie believes strongly that children should be exposed to Junkanoo and other equally worthy cultural practices in schools.
Learning is fun. It shouldn't just be the regular mundane teaching and learning, but this brings excitement. I can see it happening in the math program. I can see it happening in the literature and numeracy program. I can see it happening even in the social subjects areas as teachers take off with the rhythmic beat of education that's called Junkanoo.
Well, still to come later on Access Now, Reverend Angela Palacios. She's in the house, going to tell us about the importance of prayer and devotion. Stay close for that.
Candid Security offer a varied range of security services, including guard service. We do armored service, we do pre-employment investigation, background checks, also vet people for employment. A live business hosted PBX is extremely important to our operation. I don't have to be in my office. I can easily get connected with our clients, my vendors, my NASA office, and with our employees in the field, anytime, anywhere.
The difference, Ruby's Ultra Tech in your car. Fill up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Spend less and go far. Fuel up with Ruby's Ultra Tech. Get the most out every ride. Just watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel up with confidence in every mile. Get Ruby's Ultra Tech in your tank and drive with a smile. Watch your car perform with the best fuel inside. Fuel the difference with Ruby's Ultra Tech.
Great images there. Live shot of Bahamas Resort. Great shot. Let's fly to Anagua. Well, as all of you are aware, Junkanoo, our national culture, is not just unique to the island of New Providence. You're looking at some clips of Junkanoo on the island of Anagua. There's surely no hush-hush about this. No island left out. Good stuff there. Going to turn things over to LaDon. LaDon.
Well, Desmond, prayer is the direct communication with God. Some say Yahweh, some say Jah, whatever we call him. He is a supreme creator. We conduct prayer by praising God, confessing our sins, thanking him and asking him for our needs and desires. Tonight, we have as our guest Reverend Angela Palacios, who is going to talk to us about the importance of prayer and devotions. Reverend Palacios, welcome to the Bahamas Tonight Access Now.
Thank you so much. It's a privilege and a joy to be here.
Now, I gave a basic definition of prayer to you. What is prayer and what is the importance of it to persons spiritually?
Let's imagine the image of the umbilical cord that is cut at a baby's birth, and let us imagine prayer as the cord that is never cut. That it's a relationship, it's an experience, it's everything that we need to be who we were created to be. And so in my mind, that's the connection, that's a lifeline. It takes you through any experience, from birth to death and into eternal life.
And how often should a person pray?
Scripture says pray without ceasing. So you know it means anywhere, anytime, anyone has access to this amazing God of ours, who's truly 24/7 and beyond time itself. So prayer is always available, always relevant. It's the oxygen we really need to really be alive.
No, but this is a good question. How do we know when our prayers have been answered?
I think it depends on the nature of the emotional response that we get. Sometimes it's peaceful. Sometimes it may seem empty, but you begin to see signs of growth. It's like watching a plant, the seed. You don't see anything for a long time, and then suddenly changes come. Or it may be in the twinkling of an eye, and you may have a sense of peace that just lets you know it's going to be all right. But if we remind ourselves, God got me, I'm okay in the strength of the Lord, even when we make mistakes, we come and we say we're sorry. And you start all over again, asking the Lord for wisdom, knowledge, understanding, discernment, insight, so that you are more than just you alone. You always have that in front, behind, beside, above, below. We are surrounded totally, and the mystery is God is in us, and we are in God. You can't understand it, you can't really explain it, you only have to experience it and enjoy it.
And what's the difference between prayer and devotion?
Devotion, I would say, is discipline. I would say devotion is a sum total of all the experiences, worship, service, ministry, everything. And prayer is one aspect of it, an important aspect, but devotion is that response to the one who is the first responder to us. When you look at the cross, when you think of our Creator, when you think of the Holy Spirit as a constant companion, everything you need is in this relationship, and that's the devotion is our response to who God is in the first place.
So when should we carry out devotion, and how long can you say it should last for us?
Well, the discipline of a practice, you can say, well, all right, I'll read the Bible for half an hour in the morning, or I'll listen to my worship music on the way to school or work. You know, you weave it into your day as you wish, the silence, the breathing exercises. But in a sense, devotion should be a permanent experience, a permanent existence. It's who we are. It's who we are. To be devoted, it's like in marriage. You don't have special moments to be married. You're married. And so a devotion as a child of God, this is a parenting experience. It is a love that we can't explain or understand. So it's constant, always, night, day. All the time, devotion is who we're supposed to be in response to who our God has been in the first place.
And why was it so important, I guess, for the Anglican Church, I guess, to give out morning devotional or inspirational messages or materials? Why was it so important for the Anglican Church to do that?
We always had different format, but during COVID in particular, we were very intentional because we needed people to be encouraged. I did do the contact tracing, but they asked me to do the spiritual side rather than the medical. So one day in particular, I had 40 people to call, to pray with them, to talk with them, to encourage them. Sometimes people were in lockdown, but they weren't sick. Sometimes their children were on the outside, on the other side of the door. And so people were in many different circumstances. One lady, she said she didn't even have time to get her laptop, so she's locked in a room by herself for 10 days or more. So part of what we were doing was reaching out, because the churches were closed, so we made sure that you could open your Bible, you can open your prayer line, that we were always there reminding you that God was with you and that the church was there with you as well.
Reverend Palacios, thank you so much for joining us here on the Bahamas Tonight Access Now, and all the best to you this year.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
My joy.
Don't go anywhere. Amajal Knowles has a look at what's coming up in sports.
And dozens of golfers teeing off at the Bahamas Golf Classic. Details of that story coming up in sports.
Macaroni and cheese, 7 1/4 ounces, $1.19. Parmesan tuna, 5 ounces, 89 cents. Boneless chicken breast, $2.99 per pound. Fresh pork picnics, $1.99 per pound. Sweet mangoes, 2 for $3. Fresh lemons, 3 for $1. Specials every day at super value and quality supermarkets.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com. JS Johnson
Whopper with cheese never tasted so good. 100% flame grilled beef, now juicier. With fresh ingredients as usual. And even fluffier buns. The Whopper with cheese. Bigger, better, tastier. Get a regular combo for only $9. Only at Burger King Nassau.
Welcome to your Monday Sports Check, everyone. I'm Amajal Knowles, topping sports. The Bahamas Golf Classic teeing off yesterday at the one and only Ocean Club over at Paradise Island. The Corn Ferry Tour event seeing over 140 golfers compete this week as they try and make the PGA Tour. Look at the leaderboard after day one. Sitting in first, Americans John Vanderland and Rick Lamb, who are both tied at 12 under. And third would be the USA's Hank Laboda, who was 11 under par. The lone Bahamian in the field would be Grand Bahamian Cameron Riley, who at suspension of play would be 4 over, scoring a 70 in round 2. We caught up with him after his day one performance.
I struck the ball well. I did everything I was supposed to do, played solid golf, but the putts just weren't dropping today. But that happens, that's golf, and you know, I'm proud of the way I played today. I hung in there. It got rough for a minute, but I hung in there, and I always got tomorrow, so looking forward to that. It's funny, I was actually talking to my caddy Alex about this. you know, this competition is unlike anything in the world. It's the second highest place you can play in professional golf. I think I'm matching up pretty well to them. I'm handling myself, you know, the way I'm supposed to. But one thing we were talking about is you got to think, these guys, every single one from 1 to 144, were the best in the world amateurly. They're the best in the world in their country. And it's crazy to just think that everybody came together. And, you know, it's cool that I can represent the Bahamas here because, you know, we have a great golf program too, and I'm living proof of that. And we need to show the world that. And I think I'm doing a pretty good job of that. Could do better, but, you know, I'm just trying to make sure that everybody knows the Bahamas and put them on notice.
As for any pressure on playing at home?
You know, it's always added pressure. You always want to play well for your country and do your country proud. I think one thing that I really, really enjoyed, and I'm proud to be Bahamian, is everybody that came out and supported from little to old. That really kept me going out there. It gets rough and lonely out there on the golf course and in the professional setting of the game, but just having and knowing that I have a whole country on my back and supporting me, it keeps me going. So I'm forever indebted to this country for that, and indebted to everybody who supports me.
And that's been a look at your sports on this Monday. A check on weather when we return.
So we helped bring some magic to the Aubrey Sale Primary School. We were able to visit with Mickey Mouse, bring some gifts, and just celebrate the magic of Disney in the community today here in Nassau.
We were in a Disney sort of mood. It was such a great joy to see their faces light up and to hold those toys in their hands, knowing that I've got a piece of Disney in my hand. It was just awesome.
Disney coming to Eleuthera, coming to Nassau and Abaco. I'm so proud of Disney Cruise Line and the work Disney is doing, especially in the classroom and the schools in the Bahamas.
This has been an amazing day for me.
At Koshright, our members know that there's a lot to smile about. They know that membership has its privileges. Guaranteed low pricing on every item, every time you shop. Each membership comes with 2 cards. That's one for you and a free card for a member of your household. Gold card holders earn an annual 2% rebate up to $500. Koshright members get discounts at other participating businesses. So that's a lot to smile about. Whether it be clothing, appliances, home goods, or groceries, shop at Koshright, where membership truly has its privileges.
For hurricane season, we got impact windows and doors. For protection, just come to our store. Plus we got tiles to pretty up your walls and your floors. We love to brighten up for that big bad storm. Porcelain tiles, blank tiles, mosaic tiles, a variety of styles. These 14s get right, they gotta be rough. That's why we got the best deals in the whole Bahamas. Hey, hey.
It's time now for your Access weather forecast, and we have some dry conditions around the islands, but that will be short-lived. We have this front boundary approaching northern Florida, and that's pushing towards the south and east. You can see even 1 or 2 thunderstorms associated with that. If it holds up, we can get some of that showers late tomorrow as it approaches the northwest Bahamas, but behind that, a nice cool down is expected. And now for your boating forecast is brought to you by Live Business, where you're always protected during the worst storms. In the northwest and central islands tonight through Tuesday, those winds are going to be light and variable despite the arrival of that frontal system. Flat seas, 1 to 3 feet. High tide takes place at 8:14 tonight with another high tide at 8:39 tomorrow morning for the southeast Bahamas through Tuesday. Easterly winds 10 to 15 knots, wave heights 2 to 4 feet over the ocean. Then middle of the week, Wednesday, we will see northeast winds. They will be increasing behind that front, 15 to 20 knots, so cautious flights will go up for you boaters on Wednesday in the northwestern islands. Those wave heights, they will be building 4 to 6 feet. Now, the low tide on Wednesday, 8:46 in the morning, with a high tide at 2:32 in the afternoon. For the central and southeastern islands on Wednesday, northeast winds not as strong, 10 to 50 knots, and the wave heights 2 to 4 feet. That's going to do it for your boating forecast. It's time now for your international temperatures, and they're brought to you by Raw Stuff. And that's going to do it for your international temperatures, brought to you by Royal Star Assurance. But join me at 11 o'clock for a full weather update.
Good wrap up there, Basil. Cool weather prevails. I know this is your type of weather.
It definitely is my type of weather, Desmond, but we're going to go now to Matea Cunningham before you get me in trouble, and let's talk socials.
Good chilly Monday evening. My name is Matea Cunningham, and this is Let's Talk Socials. You know the drill. We're discussing hot topics and trendy content within the social media scene. Today, we're discussing a Bahamian artist, his art, disrupting most of our timelines and For You pages in a way we didn't know we needed. Today, I'm talking about Broken Silence 7, also known as Ano, describing himself as a Bahamian motivational, inspirational, and educational artist in his bio. He creates spoken word pieces that speak to societal issues that are often avoided or not properly addressed. Topics of domestic violence, protecting children, high food prices, justice, and corruption. Themes packaged in catchy phrases and rhymes to bring attention to the truer issue. Take a look at his most recent video titled Protect Bahamian Women.
What's going on in my home? In fact, I promised myself I was gonna lead a saloon, because I don't practice this in my personal life. I got a lot of respect for kids and a wife. See, I spoke on this topic before. Was one of my lowest viewed videos for sure. But when it come to the headlines I see and saw, my temperature rise from off of the floor. I realize in this country, we got a dilemma. How life was created, we don't seem to remember. But we exist with the drop of a seed, and it takes a womb for us to breed. Breed rhyme with breathe, life's precious air. But the demons indeed in the atmosphere, inflicting fear in the way we live in, and in making the men hate our women.
Social media in the Bahamas is flooded with dances and trends, but it's also filled with creators and artists like Ano. Creators that use their platforms to spread messages of importance. So, what do you think? Would you check out Ano's content? Is he making good use of his platform? I'm Matea, and I'll see you tomorrow.
Wow, creative, interesting piece there by Matea.
Always does a great job, Desmond.
Yeah, that does it for Access Now. Stay tuned for the return. Can't wait for the rundown with Clint Watson.
Good night, everybody.
Good night. Take care.
We are here in the time of need. There's no discrimination. The mission is to relieve the suffering. We volunteer, we deliver care. With donors and partners, we're always here to turn compassion into action. Protecting life and health with our training throughout the year. We empower to heal the world. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. There is hope, assistance with disasters. There is shelter and love for our people. We can work together to help those in need. So volunteer with us and donate to show you care. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas. Community farming for food security. Climate programs suited for our island country. Together, let's build a more resilient Bahamas.
This message brought to you by the Bahamas Red Cross Society in conjunction with the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas.
There are over 3 million shipwrecks on the ocean floor, just waiting to be found. Nothing is truly ever lost at sea, only hidden by time and sand. When I put this fleet together, it wasn't just for fun. And although we do have fun, we never lose sight of our goal. Right here, right now, we are on a mission.
I don't know, but what kind of cars is this parking? You ain't even know where to park? Yeah, just don't park in the, look at this way. Like, you ain't get nowhere to go. Don't park him, just don't park in the handicap spot. Yeah, that's handicap. No, man, you can't park in the handicap spot. I ain't gonna be that long. I ain't gonna be that long. Handicap spot, boy, what's going on, dog? I tell you we shouldn't park here now, this way park it, man. I tell you we shouldn't park here. Don't get one of these things. My bad big bro, and he got a sticker inside this ain't this mud though. We gotta move, this is a handicap spot. Let's go, we gotta move. But we gotta move, don't. We can move right now, sorry.
Be considerate. Don't use disabled parking spaces without a decal in your vehicle. This message is brought to you by the National Commission for Persons with Disabilities.
The Rundown is brought to you by Commonwealth Brewery Limited. And we're back. Happy New Year, Bahamas, and welcome to the Rundown's first show for 2025. I certainly missed you. Hope you had a great holiday to all of you. Lots of business to do this year, so let's get right down to it. As you know, the hot story around the country tonight is that trade union Congress-led strike. Now, here's the issue for those of you who need to get a clear understanding. President Obie Ferguson contends there are long-standing issues facing unions affiliated with the TUC that government has yet to rectify. This is what he's saying. And in a social media voice note disseminated on the weekend, he's adamant that the union will not stop until all of the labor matters submitted to the Prime Minister have been addressed and resolved. Well, as you can imagine, this information hasn't been sitting well with Prime Minister Philip Davis, who declared in a statement on Sunday that there is no issue that cannot be discussed and has not been discussed. He went on to say that the question one must ask is, why would the head of the TUC want to inflict harm on the nation when the problems can be solved by simply having discussions and not an unlawful strike? Now, Prime Minister Davis contends that union leaders, workers, his government, and all right-thinking Bahamians, they do want what is best for our country. Well, not all unions participated in today's Trade Union Congress event. Tonight on our show, we'll hear from some of the heads of the unions, particularly the Bahamas Union of Teachers, and of course the Union of Tertiary Educators of the Bahamas, on the reasons why they weren't participating, and it's not just because they're not affiliated with the TUC. And then, of course, to give the government side on the matter is, of course, the Minister of Labor and Public Service, the Honorable Pia Glover-Roll. She is here as well, and she will give her take on what is happening. Unionism in the Bahamas is a fundamental part of our society. We all agree about that. Ensuring that Bahamian workers receive their fair share is vital to national development. That's on record. Many individuals tonight are hoping, though, that the Trade Union Congress is able to iron out all their issues and bring normalcy back to the labor sector. Now, let's just be frank and up close about this. We know certain things exist. One, unions tend to get very, how should I say this? Very publicly seen as you draw nigh to an election. We are 1 year away from a 2026 election. And so there's this myth that unions try to, let's see what we can milk out of them while they're in their vulnerable state of trying to be reelected. And then, of course, there are those real cases that need real attention, those matters that have not been addressed, that need to be addressed. And those we're not shying away from here at this desk. We're going to talk to the Minister of Labor about why some matters are taking a little longer than others to be addressed. And if you know anything about the public service, you understand that there is serious challenges in sometimes trying to get things pushed through the system. It is not about government not wanting to do. It is that the system is so challenged and has so many personalities working in it that sometimes things take longer than they should because of people stifling it for ulterior motives. So not every issue that's not happening right away means that it's being ignored. Sometimes there are other factors that are at play that impact what is happening in our country. But I agree, there is a decorum that labor unions and that labor officials ought to operate by, and especially those who are veterans in this, they know how to go about what they go about. So one can only question what are the ulterior motives. Now, it doesn't mean that there aren't people who have needs and they want to make sure those are addressed. But at the end of the day, at what price are we willing to get somebody to agree with our terms? And does it mean that we put our country at risk and create other issues? Let's look at it, for example, Bahamas Air, right? Those flight attendants went on strike and it cost the airline $1 million. Now, at the end of the day, that's $1 million that could have been going towards people, but now has to go towards an airline trying to recover from a bad decision. So at the end of the day, did it make any sense? The money that you say you need is owed to you, are you going to get it now that they have a $1 million bill that you just racked up? These are the truth and real issues that we have to address. So we're going to a break, and when we come back, we dive into the conversation with the union leaders who are here and the Minister of Labor. You're watching The Rundown. We're back right after this. Stay close.
Hey, what's up, Mario?
Hey, Dale, what's going on?
Have you seen ZNS new digital platforms?
No. Let me go check it out.
Good day, Bahamas. I'm Devontae Hanna, and this is ZNS Digital,
where we cater to your news and entertainment needs. Are you a foodie? I thought so. Then look out for Digital Bites.
Shining a light on Bahamians and the good that they do, ZNS Digital is home to the Sunshine Room.
Keeping up with the latest trends, our original content will keep you entertained.
Yeah, that's cool.
But have you seen the new website?
No, I didn't see it. Let me go look.
We're still your most trusted source for news and information.